So, hi everyone, and welcome along to how shall we say, a quite warm evening in the UK. So, welcome along, Glenn. Welcome along, Jenny. So, I see it's a little bit soggy in Pennsylvania at the moment, Glenn. So, that could almost be a song, but I'm sure you could do with the rain, as we could at the moment over here. So, it's very, very warm. So welcome along, Jennifer and Steamy Saint Evenage. I believe that was a sort of movie, Steamy and Saint Evenage, or was that Steve? Something. It sounds very appropriate though, but it's very warm. I can totally agree. Us Brits are not used to it. I had to loosen my tie very slightly today. It was that warm. I couldn't believe it. But obviously, I got some strange looks as I walked down the high street with my umbrella wrapped up and newspaper under my arm. So that's the way we do it. So welcome, Janet. Oh, you've made it fantastic. Well done. So you're, I believe, sunning yourself somewhere very nice at the moment. So great that you could join us. Hi there, Viv. Welcome along. Hope you're doing well down your way on the south coast, and I bet it's warm there as well. So Pat, welcome, and Dennis, hi there. Hi guys, thank you so much for joining in. And Marianne and Anisetta Frank Jensen, beautiful name from Denmark. Welcome along. Hi there, Vicky. Hi there, Jim. Brilliant of you to join me. So let's see what we can do in the steamy heat of central England. So what I'm going to do is first get a little bit of tissue. I'm going to fold it into 4 squares. I'm not going to tear it this time. And what I'm going to do is dab my forehead and maybe just a little bit under the eyes as well. So if you're in UK, you may want to do that. It's a second use of not torn tissue. Let's call it folded tissue. So guys, hi guys, everyone joining me at the moment. Welcome along. It's great of you to tune in. So I thought we'd call this one Refreshing Moments, because we need a little bit of a refreshing moment as we speak. So this one may be quite a fun one, but more of an appropriate one. So one quick thing, guys, before we start, if you do have problems with the quality of the not video, but the live stream, there should be a little button somewhere. It looks like a little cog, and that gives you a choice of how you'd like to view it. So it may be dependent on where you are, so the actual reception might not go any higher than you've actually got. But if you go onto that, you can actually alter it and make the quality a lot better. So if you can get anything up to 720 somethings or HD, that will make it very, very crystal clear. So just a quick thing there to help you out. Okay, guys, so for those of you about to join in, just let's take it nice and steady, guys. So we're going to start off with the scamp as ever, but I'll take it nice and slowly, nice and relaxed. We'll do something appropriate to the weather. So let's start off with a scamp. I'm going to put a couple of dots down at the top, about there, let's say. Take it down. Let's get some depth. So this is the main area of the object. And again, I won't tell you just yet, but I will tell you what it is before we start the painting. I'm sure you'll guess. So just in from the top dots, a couple more dots. Down the bottom, we've got a semicircle, or semicircle, as we say where I live. Then we'll join these together. So we've got a nice bell jar shape in reverse. Yeah. So that's the start. So I'll make that a bit thicker so you can see it, guys. But those little lines keep everything nice and accurate. Then we've got a little swirly bit that goes over in the top and under. So just like a little wave, just on the ocean, bobbing up and down. We won't put a boat there or any dolphins, because it's not that sort of scene. So got that on. Then we'll put a little circle. So you can either use your dot method, or you can not use your dot method. You've got 2 options. Everything, all options are open, but one of those 2 would be right. Take a little line down, line across, Again, little dots. Then we'll do a little swirl going out. So just a curve going left and right. Then I'm going to put the bottom on this item, little line down, and then swirl around the front. Yep. So any guesses as to what it is yet? It's not a helicopter. It's not a cabbage. So they're two things that we can dismiss. Oh, Jenny Foles, look at you. Look at you. Ice cream sundae. Fairly close. Fairly close. It's actually an ice cream Saturday. Yep, it's the one just before the Sunday one. But yes, it's going to be an ice cream sundae because I think we are Knickerbocker glory. Absolutely, Barbara. Brilliant. Fill it with wine and you're good to go, Janet. Fabulous. So there's a lot of different ingredients you can put into your Knickerbocker glory ice cream sundae. Yay. So whatever you want to put in, that'll be good. If you could use the British dots for this one, Glenn, that would be great. I know they're slightly different, but if you just stick to the British ones, and then we've got no crossover, we've got no issue. So there's the vessel, the sundae holder. Yeah. Hi there, Anna. Welcome along, and Mary Ellen. Welcome along, guys. Thanks for joining us. So, got all this. Now we're going to put some sundae in it, or some Saturday. All I'm going to do for a start is put a bit of a triangle to one side. Yeah. Slightly in from the edge, because that edge width is the edge or the width of the glass. Yeah. So it doesn't go right up to the edge. Bit of a triangle, and then we're going to do this little swirl, then a little swirl, and a little loopy loop. Yeah, so it's swirly whirls this side, and loopy loops that side. So again, if I do get a little bit too technical, because I'm very in depth with the research onto these projects, loopy loop, swirly swirls. Yep, got it. Cool. Got those on. Now that's Sunday bit. Now we're going to put a big dollop of ice cream. So little dots to give you that circle, and you can do it all the way around so it gives you the full circle, but it's behind the sundae, lurking, and there's a little blob of ice cream, little circle. You can come over for a Sunday, Craig, absolutely, but I'm out on a Monday, but you can come on Sunday. So there's my little swirl, but I don't know if you've noticed when they have those little swirly things to scoop the ice cream out, they leave a little mark, because I think that's where they dig it in for a start. So we do a little bit of a mark like that. Yeah, and ultimately that's going to be very marginally in. Yeah, because that's the scoop line. I know all about ice cream, especially over the last week. Blimey. That's the scoop line, and that's the circly bit. Yeah, so I'll put a little arrow there just to remind us. Scoop, circly bit. Don't put arrows on yours. Okay, got that. Flake as well. Why not? Tell you what we're going to do. Put just here a little cherry. So another little circle embedded into the cream a little bit, and then just at the center we've got that little, it's almost a heart shape with a little cherry. So got that little circle. Then we're going to put a nice little stem on as well with a little tiny little bobble at the ends. So there's my cherry. Yeah, all going well. Biscuits, how do you get flakes, biscuits? This is outrageous, but it's going well. It's going well. All contributions gratefully received. Quick slurp of tea. It's only 32 today, so British tradition must remain. Drinking tea in the heat. So there's all the gubbins. I'm going to put a little wafer, a wafer, to this side. The wafer is really a triangle, but it's embedded in the cream. So triangle, curve, and triangle. Yeah. So that's going to be behind, and we're going to have some markings on there that show it's a wafer. Do we want a flake? Don't know if you've got room. I might leave the flake out just for the moment, but it's a beautiful idea. How about one of those little rolled cookies? We'll see if we've got room, Janet. I know you're on holiday, but we'll see if we've got room. Hi from California. Welcome, Dina. Welcome along. So got all that on. Then I'm going to do a little bit of a width for the top. So just follow the initial line we had around. So that's the width of it. Bit of a width for the glass. And then up the other side. Not all the way around. And then what I'm going to do is do a few jaggedy lines. And these are going to be layers of something like strawberries or some sort of fruit, not fruit, but some sort of crushed strawberries, crushed red things. Yeah. When I go into the restaurant or the ice cream parlor, I'll say, yes, I'll have whipped cream there. I'll have a little wafer there, always with a cherry, always with a dollop, and I want some crushed red stuff. Could you put some crushed red stuff in there as well? That would be perfect. Just what I need. So this is crushed red stuff, and this is coming across this way because the actual guy serving was left-handed, so we put it in that way and then dollop cream on. It shows you something about the fella, a bit of a history to him. Okay, got it. Right, so we've got all that on. Tiny little line at the bottom, and then we'll get cracking. So there is our ice cream sundae stroke Knickerbocker glory stroke, whatever you call it where you are. So got that going. I'm going to move this just to one side and transfer it over to my paper. Let's have a look. So I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, oh, you can still see it today. Look at that fabulous clattering about. So let's get it level. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So are we ready to transfer over, folks? Let's have a quick slurp of something before we do. There's the water. I'm going for a little bit of water this time. Absolutely, Glenn. Life is just a bowl of cherries. Right, let's transfer it over. So a couple of dots for the top of the bowl. Don't make it too big. If you work too big, it's a bit more cumbersome, shall we say. So 2 dots, slightly in for the second dots, and then dots for your little curve at the bottom. Got all my little dots on. Join those lines together in a loose and quite quick way. So if you're quick, it will be naturally loose. If you deliberate too long, it tightens up. So a little dot in the center. We know where the top of that sort of bit of rolling wave was. And that's the nice little ornate bit on the top of the container, glass container. So hi there, Peter. Welcome along. Hi, Valerie. Coconut ice cream is what we serve. Very popular. Oh, sounds good. We didn't even factor that one in. Blimey. We could put some on yours, Barry. How's that sound? So there's the top. We've got that little circle at the bottom. And take that line down so I know it's the center. Put a couple of little dots out so I know the width of my bottom. Yeah. That's a catering term. Always know the width of your bottom. Got that coming, those little reverse C and reverse C coming down. So we had a little line just behind those curls, and that suggests that you're looking down and there's a bit of perspective on the base of this glass container. Bring that round. Jolly good. And then put a bit of width on it. I put a line across and you're there. You're good to go. So hi there, Paulo, welcome along, and Elise, welcome guys, welcome. So we've got all that on, that's the first bit, and then we're going to put a little bit of width on this glass. So this is Leicestershire glass, which is known for its thickness, not its thinness, so quite thick. So that just gives you a line to go up to with the contents of the ice creme. Got that on? All on our way. So now we're going to put that, move in slightly, little triangle. I won't go too high with your ice cream, but I think people who are quite warm are going to really dollop this on. And then we have swirly bits coming this way. That's the swirl of the ice cream. We've got that little floaty bit, the last bit of the when it dollops in, and then we've got the lolly bits going this way. So little caterpillar shapes, then we swirl in this way. It just gives a bit of motion, a bit of direction to the ice cream. So got that. Oh, blimey. Hey, a factual bit of info has just come in. Newsflash, newsflash. Apparently, if you have a hot drink or beverage on a hot day, it actually cools you down. Oh, my word. I shall ask somebody to try that, Janet. I think I may have heard that myself. I don't know why it cools you down. Maybe it equalizes the body temperature to soup level. Thank you, Janet. Thank you. So, hi there, Jilly. Welcome along. Welcome along. So now we're going to put that little dollop of circular ice cream. So that's in, and then we've got that little cut-off bit. So remember what that was? That's where it scoops, and that's where it rolls. Scoop and roll, it's called. Scoop and roll. Got that on. Let's bung a cherry on. All with a cherry on top. So a little circle, little indentation that signifies the classic cherry. Now you can either have that in front or behind, and the same with the cream, but I would just nestle it within that environment. Got that on. So now what else did we have? Oh, I know, a little flake. So triangle, bottom of the triangle, about it's really dug in, it's not going to move. Take a line back, little curve. There is the wafer nestling in the background. Little line, because I'm going to do this as a sort of crosshatch stuff, as they are on wafers, and that's just nestling beautifully in the surroundings. So got that on. I'll just put my other image there, guys, so you can see it. Yeah, got that on. So what else did we have? Oh yeah, crushed red stuff that swirls across. Now you can put little lines on to help you out. Don't just put them evenly, randomly, because the guy at our ice cream parlor is anything but delicate with his ice cream crush. So these are little red bits that are going to roll across, but they're not just dolloped in, they've got a little bit of motion to them. So there is our drawing. So if you're ready, guys, let's dive straight in and have a cup of tea. Yep. So a little slurp of tea. Get yourself prepared, guys. We're going to start with Big Brian, and you will need a little bit of, I'll give you a little bit of a clue this week. You're going to need a little bit of cerulean blue and a little bit of Indian red to start off with. So a little slurp while you prepare. So there we go, guys. So Big Brian, welcome, Big Brian. Take a bow. No, take a dive, Big Brian. Take a dive. He's diving across the screen. Look at that. Brilliant. What a dive. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Hi there, Marianne. Welcome along. 90 degrees today. God dear. Everywhere is hot, hot, hot. That's why we're doing ice cream this week. So I hope you can join in with us, Marianne. So Big Brian, there he is, ready to rumble. So what I'm going to do is get a bit of paint on. Now let's have a look. Yeah, I'll keep that there for one moment. So we're going to go for a little bit of water, just a little bit down the side of the vessel. I'm going to drop on a little bit of weak cerulean blue. just very weak. Just let it fly on. Not fully joined, not really in the line. So everything we've done, I've just ignored. Well, not really, but I'm not being very tight with it. Got that bit on. Now a little bit of swirly gig stuff, so just water. Just roll this on the ice creamy bit. So roll it that way and roll it this way. Water on there, and I'm going to put a little bit of cerulean blue. Ooh, can't believe it, can't believe it. A little bit of cerulean blue. Just drag that across, leaving quite a bit of white, because that's the cream stuff. And swirl the other way, leaving plenty of white. And then I'm going to drop a little bit of Indian red into that, just to give it a shadowy colour. But again, drawing in the direction of the object. Yeah. Got that on. Bit more. Blip, blip, blip. There we go. Job is a good one. So got that on. Then we're going to have a party. No, we're not. We're going to do this. Mine's going to be chocolate. Yeah, I'm quite a chocolate fan. So if anybody didn't realize that within the loose fraternity, chocolate is most welcome within my house. Bit of water on the chocolatey stuff, dollop it down. I'm just keeping away from the ice creamy stuff at the moment, and that's Indian red. But I can negatively shape a little bit around the ice cream if I want to, and I want to. Dragging some of that on. Then I've got sepia, so a dark brown. Any dark brown you've got will be fine. What's an alternative? Indian red's also light red. Just to answer your question there. Or any light brown is good. A sort of orangey brown is good. So now I'm just dropping a little bit of sepia in. Just let that float about. Oh, I've touched that, which is fine. Just bring that around. Got that going. So there's my dollop of ice cream. Yeah. So we've got that going. Now a little bit of tissue, torn tissue. I can stop that, but it could be a reflected light, and I can pick bits off as I go as well. So I've got all that going on. Now let's put the cherry on top. Bit of water, tiny bit with Big Brian. Going to go for, tell you what, a bit of cad orange for a start, tiny bit. Cad red. Leave a little glitch of white if you like. Shape it. And then I'm going to drop in some alizarin crimson. Ooh. Just at the bottom edge. And again, this is negatively chasing out the shape. I don't mind it touching the chocolate, as long as it doesn't eat it. So that can float about. While it's still relatively wet, I'm going to pick a little bit off. Yummylicious indeed, yummylicious. Chocolate sauce, that could go on. It's never ending. People have got so many ideas for this particular one this week. Picking a little bit off at the top edge, that's light just hitting. And then while I'm at it, no, I'm going to leave that bit. While I'm at it, I'm going to do nothing at all. Wafer. Water on the wafer. I was going to say it's clean, but it's not, but it doesn't matter. Cad orange, the top edge, bit of Indian red, bit of sepia. Again, I'm going to get it close to that, and then I'm going to introduce this lady to you who's not made an appearance this week, but Miss Rigger has jumped in. But then I can use the dry area just to shape a little bit along here, and this will give us a negative edge just to say what it is. So tiny little touches at the top edge, just really using up the paint I've got. And then this will bleed out. And I'll pick a bit off in a moment or two. So there's the wafer bit going. So got that on, floating about. Banana split, absolutely. That's floating. Let's get back in with Big Brian. So we're going to dive in with Big Brian, Indian, a little bit of Indian red and a little bit of cerulean blue. And just drag a few bits again, broken and random, along the line of the ice cream. Got that on. Drag a bit of that red into there. Got it all going on. So got that. Now I'm going to put a little bit of this colour into the vessel itself. This is going to be cat orange and a bit of cerulean blue. And just inside, I'm just going to drag a few little bits across. So it gives it a little bit of texture to the ice cream. It's not just clean, crisp white. And then it's just from one side as well, the dark side. The dark side of the, not moon, but Knickerbocker Glory holder. Right, Big Brian still. I'm not going to put water down. Just going to dollop a bit where the fruity stuff is. Predominantly on the left-hand side. Get smaller towards the bottom, because this is where I went crazy with the fruit around this area. It's been cordoned off by the police. Crazy with the fruit. Champagne, good idea. Liking it. Now I've got cad red. Dragging that across. It's not a big wave of it. It's sort of sporadically placed and then joined a bit. And again, now a little bit of alizarin crimson. Far edge. Ooh, some explosions going on there. Almost taste it, can't you? Straighten up a couple of edges just to suggest the edge of the glass. Voila. Yeah. So there's the ice creme going on. Sprinkles as well, Marianne. For you, absolutely. See what we can do. So now I'm just popping back up to the wafer and picking a bit off. And a bit of the red as well. So dampening it down. So got all that on. While that's happening, I'm just going to pop back in with a little bit of cobalt blue. And I'm just going to scoot around with Miss Rigger with very liquidy paint. A few lines to give a variation on the glass work. Now, don't be afraid to put the stuff on and then move it about when you get going. And I'm only really trying to add a bit of tone to it, not really direct where the glass is. We've got this swirly gig at the top. Paint's wet, just let it roll in. Down there, a bit more. And then what do we got at the bottom? Just roll the brush across. I'll say the brush, sorry, Miss Rigger across. Allow that to dictate or present where the shapes are. So as I say, you've got that on, but I've got a little bit of water on now, and I can just roll a bit of this over to soften some areas, so I don't have to use paint every time. I can just use what I've got. Maybe a tiny bit just down the inside of here, just to tell the viewer what's going on with the ice cream stuff. So got all that on, guys, got it all going on. So now I'm going to pop back to Wafersville, just there, a little bit of orange, I'm just going to flick a few lines through some of the areas that are there. Now they don't really have to stick. Maybe a little bit of markings at the top, where they get that crispy edge. Yeah, so that's that sort of. Yes, there are peaches in there, Pat. There's 7 right at the bottom. The tiny peaches. I hope. So we've got all that on, guys. Now what I'm going to do now is put a background on. Yeah, so I've left it till now, before I have a quick slurp of tea again. Now I'm going to put a little bit of loose background on. I'm going to use the dangerous man himself, International Dangerous Dave. Bit of water at the back, only towards the top. Not right up to the image. I'm not dragging it down too far. And what I'm going to use is turquoise. Not turquoise, but turquoise. So I'm going to tilt it slightly, if I may. And then I'm just going to chase round the edge a little bit. Flicking this back. This is giving me a little light blast of stuff, but a nice light sort of summer feel colour, almost vintage in fashion. But when I get it on, I put the colour down, move it back, then just nudge it out of the way. Just bring it down for you guys. And again, it gives you time to do this. And then just drag a bit down this way. Give that nice scrolling feel. But the great thing about Dangerous Dave's edge is very sharp. Once you've got it on, you can actually strengthen up the colour a bit by throwing a little bit more in, or less, whichever you fancy. And it will also act as a real good way of negatively picking out some edges. Wallop. Can make some sound effects if you like. Whistling's good. Tapping your foot is good. So got that going. Yeah. So we got all that going on. Now then, what else are we going to do with this? Oh, I know. Negatively pick out a bit of the edge. So I've got that on, but I'm going to use a little bit of, let's have a look, indigo, just along the edge of the glass. And now I can negatively pick that out even finer. Same with the chocolate. Same with the cherry. Just do that. That's the shadow, and I'll put the green bit on in a minute. Just bringing this down. When you do this, you can decide where you're chopping the glass and giving it the shape. So it's always nice to keep a nice little white edge. Got that on, just water and bleed it off. Tiny bit on the reverse side. Again, just chopping. Far more minimal this side, he says, as he makes it less minimal. Just a little bit there, picking out. Then we use Miss Rigger, pop in with a bit of turquoise. Just pop around the edge of the ice cream on this side. And a bit of indigo as well. So, got that floating off into the wild blue yonder. A little bit at the bottom. Bit of water. Bit of cobalt for a start. A little bit of indigo. Voila. So what else do we need? Let's have a little look. I think we can pop back in now. I'm going to pop back in with Big Brian, actually, he's a quicker guy. Cad red. Just firm up a little bit in here. Little sepia, just under that crinkly bit. I'll use Miss Rigger to move that about. Maybe have a couple of crinkles in there, why not? Just gives a bit of texture to the ice cream rather than just a flat blob of colour. Gradually bring that down. A bit of cherry stuff. So really I'm just enriching, quite a good word there, the colours as we go down. It gets you like that, Dennis, doesn't it? When I see ice cream, I just want one. Even a painting of one drives you to the ice cream parlour, I think. And I quite like the way the reds just bled into the top of that ice cream to give you that glow. Dark colour just around the edge of the cherry there, and remember a little dot. Give it a bit of a twang. I've got sap green. You can find some that I've not covered in stuff. The dot for the cherry, where I want it to go to, about there. There's the little stem placed on. Cherry, absolutely. I've just, sorry, missed that one, Janet, but yes, it's cherry stem, can't even say it. Just pop back into the ice cream a bit just to shape it around the top of the bowl. So I'm just dragging this down to the suggested top line of the bowl itself. So little lines just of direction. Maybe just scrolling back as well. Just emphasising it a bit this side just to enrich it. It's a very simple approach, as it always is. We always get bogged down with overthinking it, really. So I'll put a few little darker lines just in here, as if they're rivers of fruit. This is just with alizarin. Just little dots. So the little seams of tone, really. Just remember where the edge of that glass is. Just under the rim there, and just bringing that down. So any excuse to pick out a bit of negative stuff is useful. Maybe a little bit more chocolate. I like that chocolate stuff. Just tiny little tabs to reshape, nothing much at all. And maybe finally a little bit more on the wafer. But again, only a couple of lines. And there we go. So we've got that down. Little dot of dark stuff at the end of the stem. And anything else? Oh, I know. Tiny little bit of activity on the glass. So this is a bit of Indian red, a bit of cerulean again. Dragging that down. And again, it's on the dark side of the moon. We're not painting the moon, it's on the dark side of the glass. So I think there we have it, folks. There we have our little chocolate ice cream strawberry wafer strawberry sauce treat that I think we all deserve after a warm day. So the only final thing to do, folks, and I think you know what this may be. The only final thing, the topping on the Knickerbocker Glory really should be to put your name on. Yeah, so be proud of everything you do. So there we go, guys. There is our superfragilistic, however you say it, superfragicallisticabricialidocious. Beautifully said, Andrew. Beautifully said. This is going to be the challenge for this week, guys. Let's give it a go. I'm going to get this on as soon as possible, but if some of you may have completed this already, so by all means place it on the Facebook site. Just a few quick mentions. It's going to be difficult next week. I'll try my very best, and then the preceding weeks I'm flying all over the world, so I'll try my very best wherever I am to keep in contact and maybe try and do some live broadcasts from various places. So we'll see where they may be. Have a go at this one. Let's have it as the challenge. Keep posting away, and some beautiful work, some absolutely stunning work you're putting on the Facebook site at the moment. You should be justly proud of yourselves. And I know the sort of journey you've been on, and you've really flying now, so well done, and help others out as well as you go, guys. Always be kind to everyone else. Website's doing really well. I'm just getting new stuff on there. I'm bringing out a new range. There's 3 or 4 on there already of loose beginners, so really the very basics, and sometimes it's easy to forget what they are. because you get on that roller coaster and you start churning some beautiful stuff out. But once you get started, you need those little steps to help you on your way. So the videos on there are really useful. So if you want to pop over there, have a look, and tell your friends, everybody's welcome. There's a cup of tea waiting for your arrival. So well done, guys. Fabulous of you to join me. I do appreciate it every time. So I'll wish you the best of weeks, and I hope you have a fabulous one. So until next time, have a fab one, and see you very, very soon.